TPN at technophilespodcast.com. I'm David Geisler, and this is the Technophiles Podcast.
I can listen to my music, but everyone else around me can also choose to tune into Tony's music.
This Friday, Vee Laabs reports on the tragic news of HitchBOT's demise. After the break, Tony brings a slightly more uplifting story to the group about hive-minded social headphones. Don't forget Isaac Asimov's fourth rule of robotics, because this is the Technophiles' 257th episode. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm here tonight with our regular cast, Vee Laabs, Tony Stiglich, and Krista-Lee Malone. Vee Laabs, how are you?
I am pretty darn good.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? Pretty darn good?
Yeah.
The new job working out okay and stuff?
Yeah, just completed my third day of training. Earlier today I caught myself revoicing a video in my head
yes,
just
of course,
earlier.
Of course.
It was wild.
Mr. Tony Stiglich, how you doing?
Oh, hanging in there, doing all right now.
All right, you got a touchy mic there tonight. Be careful.
I am. I'm trying to be very gentle.
Yes, it was giving us some problems earlier, but I think we're okay now. Your week's going okay?
Yeah, long week at work, but no complaints.
Fair enough. Krista-Lee Malone, fantastic dress you have on tonight.
Thank you.
I believe it was a birthday gift from Mama Malone?
Yes.
Mama Malone.
Mama Malone. Mama Malone, I like it. How you been?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm well. I'm excited. I'm excited because tomorrow morning, after this recording, we're going to UWM to set up our tech rehearsal for some of the live shows that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, very excited. That's starting to get rolling here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this mic is a little low tonight, but I guess I'll just deal with it. Guys, we're talking about two things tonight. We're talking about Vee. You brought a story about. Oh, yes. We're going to start this show talking about HitchBOT. Now, Vee did a newscast about HitchBOT about 2 weeks ago. And we were so excited just as he was about to leave. We posted the video 2 days after he left, and we'll talk about what happened to HitchBOT. And there's been a lot of comments on our YouTube page about it, so we thought we'd talk about it here on this show as well. We'll take a break and come back, and then Tony, you have here some social headphones, Warehouse Arc.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out what that means.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you should be, Dave.
Yeah.
baby.
You should be excited.
Indeed you are. Let me confirm it.
Fantastic. All right, cool. Well, let's do this. Let's go right into HitchBOT. Let's talk about what happened. Vee, give us a little bit of a heads up about what HitchBOT was doing. Tell us a little bit what you talked about on the newscast video.
So HitchBOT is this project created by a few scientists in Canada, kind of a social experiment about technology and how people will show kindness towards it, or a small robot or something like that. Their experiment was to see, hey, let's make this robot out of a beer bucket and some pool noodles and gloves and boots, and put a small computer in there.
Essentially make a silly robot that doesn't do much, on purpose almost.
Mm-hmm. With a cute little face and a thumb that sticks out, and let's see if we can get it, like, on its own to hitchhike across Canada. And it worked. Mm-hmm. It got across the entire country in a matter of days, I think. I think it was like 22 days, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Days made it sound like 1 or 2, 3 or 4 days.
A few days,
I think
yeah.
it was basically a month,
Yeah.
Made it all the way across, which was cool. We talked about HitchBOT way back in the day on this show when that started a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And we were suspect. We didn't know if you'd make it or not, and it looks like it all went really well.
Yeah.
So I hand it back to you.
It went off without a hitch.
Bot.
There
But,
it is.
She's like, I was saying that one all day.
Yeah, I had that waiting. And so it got pretty popular amongst kids in Canada. It had a tour in Germany. It had a tour in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a Flat Stanley type character, where it was like just like a social experiment and it'll like help kids see the world through this robot's
I
eyes.
saw a post on Facebook recently that said something like, "Why are people helping HitchBOT? It's a pile of garbage." And I was like, "Oh man, this person writing this article is totally missing the point."
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even about robotics. It's really more about people.
It's a lot about people. I really do like compare it to Flat Stanley in that it's like really cute. It's smiley, and it teaches you about HitchBOT is here in Canada today, or here in the Netherlands, and this is what's there, and this is the history of that place.
Tweet HitchBOT out. I think he has his own Twitter account that, he does have some technology inside him. Why don't you talk about that real quick?
Yes, there is, I believe, a small tablet, a Windows tablet, I think, inside of HitchBOT, that's where the program that its personality is held.
He has some intelligence, I think.
He has some intelligence.
He has a little LED face, sorry.
Yeah, he has access to like all of Wikipedia's knowledge and things like that. And so it can be a conversationalist on its little rides
just
across
chatter away
countries.
as you're riding around with him.
Yeah.
So that means he could get annoying people and be like, oh, okay, this was cool, HitchBOT, but you're going to have to wait for someone else.
HitchBOT, you can be quiet for a little bit.
But
okay.
to everyone's surprise, the HitchBOT experiment actually went off with like it went with flying colors, I guess you could say, mixing my whatever's there. But he ended up being at like concerts, and what were some of the other cool things he did?
Oh, he went
in Europe and stuff.
Yeah, he went. He was like in a few weddings. Yeah, no joke. If you go to HitchBOT's website, you can see him being held by like a bunch of bridesmaids. It's so cute. He had tea at like a castle.
He toured with a metal band
He toured with a metal band in the Netherlands for a while, which is really cool.
And it's so fun to say like he did this. We all know what's really going on here, you know. Like
people are just taking this thing along with them.
It's almost a traveling gnome. It's Flat Stanley. It's really just an excuse to have this narrative, which is a lot of fun. And there's enough robotics in there to make it not just a pile of garbage.
Yeah, there's actually been parodies of HitchBOT where it's kind of like I can't remember what city this took place in, but it's for kids. And it's to track the walking habits in a city. So it's a backpack bot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's actually some really cute photos of little kids who have dressed up as the backpack bot and HitchBOT.
Wow.
Yeah. As like a school project or like Halloween or something, they had dressed up as HitchBOT. Like, that's so cute.
Yeah, that's great.
So it was pretty famous around Canada. I'm not sure how much of that made it to the U.S.
Well, so he started up a new. We're just catching everybody up here a little bit. So a week or two ago, they thought the scientists that were sending him out into the world said, okay, let's do America now.
Yeah, 3 countries, we got it down, no problem. So July 17th, they flew over to Boston. They went to the Peabody Essex Museum.
There it is.
And had a little launch party, celebrated like, all right, HitchBOT USA, going from Boston to San Francisco, let's do it.
And we were tracking HitchBOT here at TPN.
I was checking every day.
He actually started going east more.
He
first.
did. Yeah.
He was cutting over and then kind of scooped down. We were watching because we were like, come on, when's it time? Milwaukee, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, you even say so in your video.
Exactly, yeah. HitchBOT got like boat rides, was like 100 miles off the East Coast in like Massachusetts. One of the ladies who gave him a ride in the boat was Suzanne Altenberger, who made like a boat she built herself. So that was part of like the education where she contacted the owners and was like, this is my boat, let me tell you about it. And so that can get relayed to kids to educate them about you can make boats yourself. Like, how cool is that?
It's cool. And then, so I tell you what, for me, just a couple days ago, I was just checking our analytics on YouTube and everything, and a comment came in that said RIP HitchBOT, and I was like, what is it talking about? And just minutes later, Twitter exploded
because 2 weeks after the U.S. Trip had launched, somewhere in Philadelphia, I believe, HitchBOT's body was found headless.
They lost the scientists lost the GPS, and they were able to track it down.
The computer system, the face.
HitchBOT got vandalized. That's so sad. I mean, it's the human condition. It's a social experiment. There's always going to be that variable. There's always going to be that jerk that just decides to kick something.
Yep.
But I'm so bummed about it.
It's such a bummer. That's like burning some kid's Flat Stanley in front of him.
What is a Flat Stanley? You said that a few times tonight.
Oh, this is that's like a project that elementary students will do. Flat Stanley has shown up on the Today Show. It's basically like, Stanley is this kid who got flattened, and he wants to travel all around the world.
Yes.
So you fold him up and you mail him places.
So yes.
And then you write, whoever receives it writes a letter of like where Stanley is, what Stanley did there, things like that. Like Al Roker's been like, Flat Stanley's on the Today Show today, hooray!
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's just like a little experiment for like elementary school kids. It's really a neat idea, and I equate HitchBOT with that, but it's very upsetting that it. In the first few interviews with the scientists about HitchBOT, one of them mentioned, "Oh yeah, of course it would work in Canada, but it would never work in the U.S." This was like a couple years ago, and what do you know? It didn't work
in the U.S. That's such a. There's so many people excited about HitchBOT here.
Yeah.
And it is sometimes, I don't know. It is a bummer. It's a roll of the dice a little bit, and I guess it is a little bit like what happens, a little bit like actual hitchhikers. Sometimes they get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know, have you learned anything about if this, I can imagine that this is someone who is aware of HitchBOT, sees it, and just decides to be a jerk, or someone who doesn't know what's going on at all, and they just steal this thing for parts or something. It could be anywhere in that spectrum, don't you guys think?
Exactly. And there's really no way of knowing now. Like, there was some footage made, and that's in air quotes, or some footage found, but it ended up just being two YouTube jerkwads who faked the footage of somebody destroying HitchBOT.
Oh, like a hoax or whatever?
Yeah. Which why would you pretend to do that?
Well, you could probably get 1 million views and make a lot of money.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Well, at least I don't know their names.
And I mean, obviously, it would have been great if HitchBOT had made it, but and especially in light of the one person you said wrote that it looks like a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Right? I could imagine a scenario where somebody who doesn't follow these types of stories would come across this thing in the middle of the night, sitting on like a park bench or the side of the road and thinking this is something somebody abandoned. And think about it, like even around here, people dumpster dive all the time, right? Like you can throw out furniture and you don't have to call the garbage collectors, somebody will take it. I can totally see somebody coming up and being like, hey, I need some parts, and taking the head.
That was my first thought too, is that if somebody didn't know about the HitchBOT thing and just said, okay, great, cool, I just got some parts out of this.
Or just being like, oh, this thing is talking to me, there's obviously a computer in there, I want that.
Right.
Yeah, so I hadn't heard of this until it was destroyed.
Oh no, HitchBOT altogether?
I
was wondering why you were staying a bit quiet here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let me back up a little bit. So we keep saying scientists and experiment, and were there actual like parameters or things that we wanted to learn from this?
So the first time they did it, a year or two ago, they just put it on the side of a road and watched what happened.
But there's
And
no,
to their
like,
surprise, it made it across quite a distance. Then they started focusing in a little bit, and when he did another tour, they said HitchBOT would have like a list of things he wanted to do.
Because it seems like, because from what I've heard, like if the only thing anybody said is to study the human condition, and I mean,
I guess it did.
Yeah. I mean, you got results, and quite frankly, the results I would have expected. Maybe I'm being like too experimental about this, but like I appreciate it as an act of sort of whimsy.
Yes.
But I don't know. Everyone keeps talking about it like we were trying to learn something, or that, if it's a shame because it's a fun thing, then it's a shame.
Yeah.
But there are too many variables. I don't get it.
All right, 20.
You don't get why someone would do an experiment like HitchBOT. You don't get why people would be upset
like
that HitchBOT was
what
broken.
we're trying to learn from it, if anything.
I think we don't know.
If it's just fun, then that's great.
I think it is.
I think it's a fun thing, but I think it is also a way to kind of gauge what the... I know it's a weird thing to measure, but like what is the state of hitchhiking, or like kind of kindness, I guess. But we know this for sure because people can't be trusted to help a literally harmless robot.
Well, I think it's always been kind of just a fun thing, and I think what got distorted was that this robot was so successful at traveling, even more than what the original team thought, that they were like, geez Louise, let's start trying to do something with this.
So if it's me, and I see this on the side of the road, what is my impetus to pick it up?
If I didn't know it was HitchBOT, I'd probably just drive right by, of course,
Okay. So
but the idea is that you don't leave HitchBOT on the side of a road. Like, I know they have these photos. Yeah, you leave it in like populated areas. You leave it in tourist areas.
They were getting to a point where, because of all the tweets and all the tracking on the website, that people would just be meeting up and hand HitchBOT off.
Yep.
There's a little bit of that.
So
now we've got the torch carrying
hitchhiking.
Yeah, I don't really think
Like, there's
that it
not-
does. I don't think it does study hitchhiking, to be honest. I have to say.
Okay.
I think it's a random thing to see what can happen, and
Then that's
hitchbike
fair.
getting destroyed isn't even necessarily a negative thing if we're talking about results.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a bummer that it was so much more successful than anybody thought, and it had caught on so much. And it was inevitable that somewhere along the line it's going to get broken, and it's just a bummer that it happened. Because
Yeah.
personally, for us here at TPN, it's a bummer because we really wanted it to come our way,
Really
and we wanted to hang out with
wanted
it.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
sure. On the show. Okay, so I just wanted to say, so I just linked over to the people who started it real quick because I think that could give some insight into your questions.
Okay.
So we have a microphone in my way. We're looking at scientists and professors. We have this one guy who teaches new media arts at McMaster University. Nobody quote me on pronunciation here. There's an assistant professor of professional communication at Ryerson University. Then it looks like they have some of their grad students working on this as well, a developer, somebody in coding, somebody with a multimedia degree. So with all, like a lot of the people on this list here, they're looking at like multimedia and communications. This does to me seem like a legit experiment. I mean, just going off the information that I know, because this is a multimedia piece, and you can look at, well, how are people relating to it and how are they treating it, and then the data comes back in the pictures and the tweets and the Facebook and etc. But then again, along with that, then yes, it being destroyed is a data point, and as far as this is an experiment, it's not about positive or negative. This is a data point, and now we have this data point. Don't hitchhike from Philly. Okay, I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying.
Well,
So
but you're only
At least if you're a robot.
your entire data set is just willing and excited participants, save for apparently one person in Philadelphia. So I don't know, like, what. Okay, I'm studying the social media surrounding of it. People are excited for it, but like, people meet up to hand it off. Like, where's the variation there? What are you getting out of it? Once it sort of takes off, it's taken off, unless you're judging how long it takes to take off, or how long it stays relevant, or...
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see how far out of the way people are willing to go to take this thing, or if that's just, I don't know.
I always
Not
saw
out
it as
of
an
the way,
experiment of
but-
like, how much will people use their imaginations and embrace what is technically kind of a stupid thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it became bigger than just a piece of garbage robot, quote unquote.
Sure.
And that's cool.
And again, I get it if it's just a fun thing. That's totally fine.
I don't think
It's
there's
just
any science,
all the
like-
conversation that I've heard around it has been like,
Really?
it's a shame because
Because we were,
we were
it's
gonna
like someone
learn
goes, like
Yeah.
Scout, a couple years ago, we did a story about Scout. That was that autonomous boat that went out into the ocean. I think none of you were on the show when we talked
No.
about Scout.
we did not.
It was just before you came on the show, Tony.
Okay.
And it was a group of students who made this autonomous boat, and it was going to head across the ocean all the way to Spain. It was doing great and had GPS, and like people were watching this thing, they were obsessed with it and everything. No, it wasn't a handoff thing. It eventually capsized or something went wrong with it. Its batteries broke or something like that.
Sure.
But you could imagine a scenario. What if there was like a YouTube video out there where someone just had this autonomous boat and they just like smacked it with their oar or whatever because they're out there on the ocean? Like that would be sad because that was, I think, this boat was a bit more quantifiable and scientific. More,
Yeah.
we're actually learning about the autonomy and how far these batteries can last and stuff like that. Is that kind of what you're
I would say
spider around? Like
It's
the-
sort
as
of
a
like that,
comparison?
but if you launched it into pirate-infested waters.
yeah.
I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
Well,
there are people out there that need money and a
Right.
place to sleep and everything else, and so opportunistically, if you see a piece of something that looks like you could sell it,
Yeah.
you know.
So I
that's-
actually have been thinking sort of along those lines, because here's what I was wondering when I was reading all of this. What is the difference in the socioeconomics between America, Germany, the Netherlands, and Canada?
Yeah.
And from what,
Well, and specifically Philadelphia.
well, and and specifically.
We have to remember that in
Philadelphia.
America, yeah, it's so easy to say America like is a country, but it is like
East
a lot of
Coast
little
is a
countries
whole
in a lot of
different
ways.
animal,
You know what I
True,
mean?
but at the same time, like if you look at in this,
Each state is so different. Is what
I
I'm
just
trying to
meant
say.
it's
That
an
is
impoverished
true.
area in hearts.
Right.
especially,
But
so.
whatever. But like one of the things I was thinking, and this may or may not be relevant, but these are questions this made me think of is, all of the other countries have much stronger social welfare safety nets.
That's true.
So they're
Yeah,
less likely,
That's true.
and I'm not saying they don't have, but they are less likely to have the extreme of poverty that you can find in the United States, which makes it more likely for things like violence or crime. And that's even assuming that this was a crime, because like we said, this might have been somebody who thought it was an abandoned piece of garbage because they weren't following the news.
Yeah.
And the closer you are to poverty, the less likely you are to have the time to sit around Facebook and follow something like
Right.
this.
Yeah.
So, like all of those factors. So I guess I
Yeah,
kind of saw
yeah.
this is like preliminary research, right?
Yeah.
This is like you throw something, see what sticks to the wall, and then you have all of these questions,
Mm-hmm. You
and
start to kind of make comparisons, start to
Right.
draw conclusions about things maybe not entirely related to the robot.
well, right, exactly. And
I always thought that was kind of the point too. The robot is just a catalyst or whatever, just
Well,
something
right,
to mix
sure.
things
the
up.
rabbit, rabbit.
Yep, the rabbit.
That's it.
The robot itself is not anything special technology-wise.
I mean, I think they made
so
it. I think they made it look a little silly.
Right.
I think they made it look a little silly so that people would have an emotional connection to it.
Right.
Right.
If you humanize it, make it cute or funny, that's different than saying, here, pass this iPad around the country.
Yes, right.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
that's,
Exactly.
that's right.
It even came with like a buckle-in seat and stuff, so it was easy for people to do.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for a while, so we have to go to break, guys. I gotta say, but this is a great conversation, and I think if anybody wants to continue this conversation with us, you can tweet to us at TechnophilesPod, or we'll all say our Twitter accounts at the end of the episode, and anybody wants to keep talking about this, that would be awesome. Because I think it can imply larger things for sure. Let's go to break, and we're going to come back, and Tony, we're going to talk about social earphones, all right?
Yes, we are.
Sounds great.
Hi guys, David Geisler, host of the Technophiles podcast here. You know, we get to cover a lot of great topics on the podcast, but sometimes we want to talk about even more tech-related news. Fortunately, we found a way to do that. I'd like to tell you about another show that we do. It's called the Technophiles Newscast. It's a quick little show that comes out every Monday on YouTube and iTunes. You know, we actually have a really good time doing it. It's kind of become a little bit of a spin-off show from the Technophiles podcast. It's a lot like the podcast, but it's snack-sized. You can find us on YouTube or iTunes by simply searching Technophiles. We can't wait to see you on the Technophiles Newscast, and now back to the show.
All right, everybody. I am here with Vee Laabs, Tony Stiglich, and Krista-Lee Malone, and we are going to talk about the Warehouse Arc. Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Sound good, Tony?
Absolutely.
All right.
So there's a company out there. The short little selling.
Who's that?
That was out
There
there.
was some interesting marketing. Was it like a 5-volt
Just-
thing?
Just imagine a company out
5
there.
Volts West, I believe.
Five-
Anyway, doesn't matter. So there's a company called Warehouse. They have the Arc headphones, which are the first sort of mass-produced social headphones. Essentially, what it is, you can put these headphones on. Obviously, so they're like Bluetooth enabled,
Yeah.
so you can listen to them.
These look like over ears, what they look
They
like.
are
right now.
over ear, and they have very pretty lights on the outside. You can turn on or
I
not.
noticed that.
What I found was actually a review, because it's now being released after a couple of very successful crowdfunding campaigns that were not done through Kickstarter or anything.
Yeah,
they
I
were just
noticed
on
that.
their website. So it
Wow.
was actually, yeah, so it was kind of a big risk. They did gangbusters though.
How much did
But-
they raise?
Let's see. The goal was $75,000. Didn't see how much it was.
Oh, well,
total.
probably more than that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to their site and see if I can find it.
Yeah.
But the idea is not only is it Bluetooth enabled, so you can listen to whatever you have on your phone, device, whatever, but you can also connect it through other people's devices in the
Yes.
surrounding area.
Oh, nice.
And you can, so if I want to like start a channel on my phone, I can listen to my music, but everyone else around me can also choose to tune into Tony's music
Oh
or
my
whatever.
gosh, that's great.
Oh.
So I thought, yes, keep going. Sorry, I'll say this.
Oh no, that's okay. So I mean, this opens up a whole new area of opportunity for, I mean, if anybody who's gone, I feel like I talk about it a lot, but anyone who's gone to like a music festival and they'll do like a silent disco, or the last one I was at had this art installation where they would hand out headphones and it was all run through those. So this technology is sort of out there, and I mean, it's not new, it's just sort of this new commercial application for it.
Sure.
But what were you going to say?
Well, because the one thing that I always think about is I like to ride my bike a lot, and I often, 90% of the time, like to listen to music when I'm riding.
Okay.
I have a little head dash. We both of us are a little hoarse tonight. Don't you
Yeah,
see?
well,
Pardon me.
it'll be a little horsey segment.
And when I'm riding my bike, I like to listen to music, and sometimes I use just corded earphones that go down to my iPhone mount that's on the front of the the dashboard of the bike, you could say. Sometimes I like to use Bluetooth earphones, but those always have to be wired together, or often they are wired together unless you're getting the kind of like $500. And sometimes when you ride with somebody, like I don't know, it's kind of important. Like if you're doing some off-road stuff and you've got like a good jam happening, you know what I mean? You got like a good energy happening. You want both of you. I would love to be able to have both riders be experiencing the same musical experience. You know what I mean? And I've been looking all over the place for like Bluetooth earphones that will allow you to connect more than one. And the nature of Bluetooth, usually you just can't do that. You can't push your Bluetooth signal from your phone out to multiple speakers. You can push it to a hub that might then go to multiple speakers.
Sure.
And maybe that's what's going on here now that I think about it.
Huh. Maybe some of that technology.
Maybe these earphones, they're pulling in their station or whatever, and then retransmitting or something to other headphones. Is that not the case?
Oh, maybe.
I'm speculating.
So what I found was actually, like I said, a review. It wasn't it was just sort of like, how did these actually turn out?
Got it.
Largely favorable is the short answer. There are some construction issues, or things they would have liked to have seen, not that there's anything wrong with them. And actually, the price, they're only about $200, which when you talk about headphones is not that expensive.
It's not bonkers.
But it's essentially saying, you double tap the right one to connect to.
We're making faces.
The girls
at
just
each
had a
other.
moment here.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah. $200 not too bad for headphones.
Faces.
The only headphones
Sorry.
I own are the freebies I got with my iPod and my iPhone.
Now I'll admit
I've
that's
been-
all I use as well. But in the world of headphones, 200 is
As an owner of nice headphones,
You have nice headphones?
I do.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So I actually understand that because I have friends who are like music geeks and they will do that. The funny thing about that is one of my music friend geeks bought me some decent headphones, and I still like the Apple headphones better.
Why is that?
They're
Comfortable.
Yep.
The sound quality was the same. Like that was
Yeah.
pretty much a horse apiece between. I think they weren't like top of the line headphones either. He was just trying to like give me like a stepping stone into something better. So they were like
Were they
Right.
over ear?
They were the Beats by Dre. No.
Oh, well, that's.
And
Beats by Dre is more
Beats
marketed.
by Dre is
That's more
very
marketed.
nicely
Yeah.
marketed.
Yes, indeed.
As to
That's
their
what
sound
I
quality.
well, I actually thought the sound quality was the same, but
Well,
it
the same,
hurt
right.
my ear. Whereas the
It pushed on
Apple
your ear.
one is just
Goes
so
into the ear.
comfortable. It just goes right
I gotta
down.
admit, especially with that new design, the redesign they did a couple years ago, they fit into my ears very, very well.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, they're almost in ear with the actual, I have also a pair of Sony earbuds that are like the noise canceling in ear.
Yeah.
You basically jack those things into your
Oh,
ear.
yeah.
I have those.
You know what I
Scare
mean?
the crap out of me.
And you can't hear anything else. It's
Yeah.
weird. And it's good for some things. I actually I was like, oh, this is gonna be great for biking. Terrible for biking. I was like, you need to hear your surroundings
You
to be
do,
safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And going back to the whole Bluetooth earphone thing, I have had moments where I was like, well, maybe I could wear one in my ear and give the other one
Someone
to the
else
other person, and we
So
kind of
you
are still
still
hearing
hear.
the world a little bit. Maybe that works. But what I was thinking is, I think if you buy a set of, I'm wearing them right now, Apple earphones, aren't they like $60 anyway? If you buy them fresh, are they $40 or something like that? Like they come free with an iPhone or an iPod, but I think if you buy them, I'm going to check it out. I'll look, but let's
Do it.
keep
Sure.
going.
That could
They're
be-
not, if you really think about it, they're not actually that cheap, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or that is to say, $200 earphones, $100 earphones starts to feel not as expensive, is what I'm trying to point out.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
So Tony, you have a nice pair. What pair do you have? may I ask?
Okay, they're a nice pair. They're certainly not top of the line. I'd like to get better one day, but they're Bose sort of around over
We
here.
got a little audio file over here.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, Tony. I didn't realize.
I listen.
You
to
seem a
lot
little
of
self-conscious about
things.
them. Like,
They're fine.
what would you get if you?
Well, no, what he's thinking about is all the people that are listening to this. They're like, oh, I've
Yeah,
got
like,
the
this
one that's
guy with-
$700.
Look at this
Over here.
scrub.
Yeah. Be proud of your earphones, Tony.
Right.
It's all right.
Well,
And screw those guys.
I don't remember what model, but anything else.
Sure.
I
But
paid
you have a
like
nice pair.
150, 160 bucks for them,
Yep.
give or
Yeah.
take.
Yep.
I
Which
do
is
have
nice
some
and all.
noise canceling ones too, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
But I mean, I am by no means a DJ or anything
Okay, right.
like that. But just imagine, especially with all the social media, connections you can make out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a DJ, and I just say, let's meet at this park at this time. I mean, it's sort of a cross between like a silent disco, like a flash mob, like a show. I mean,
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
you sort of open up. So right now you can only connect, I think, a couple people, but
And
they're.
it uses Bluetooth specifically, the Bluetooth technology, I think.
I believe that's what. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it said.
It
Is
described
Bluetooth-
it as like a daisy chain.
I was figuring that's how they did it.
Okay.
So Bluetooth really only lasts about 40 feet, really,
Yeah.
to have it be
Sure.
with nothing with no obstructions. You can kind of push it to about 40 feet. Some might say you can go further. Some might say you can't go that far. But I would say that that's fair.
Yeah.
So as long as you have 5 people standing at least within 40 feet of each other,
Yeah.
which I think is highly likely,
Sure.
it just creates a web. Yes,
This
Steve?
reminds me of those cool flower bracelets we were talking about a couple episodes ago.
Yes, it does.
Those two, they just talk to each other using Bluetooth. You know,
Mhm.
they can talk.
So that means that there are receivers. There's receivers and I'll
And
call them projectors, but like
There's an in and out.
Yeah, an in and out with the Bluetooth here.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, this says they're gonna, future software update of up to 63 connections.
I was just
Sure.
gonna say.
Holy
Yeah, that's cool.
moly.
And there's a lot of times you'll experience a delay on things that are slightly connected.
It's true.
Here they say normally you can, the delay between headsets is about 100 milliseconds, but could go as low as 10 or 20 milliseconds. So you really are all hearing
Pretty
it at
close.
the same time.
Yeah.
For all intents
Yeah,
and
I'd say.
purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that one guy that's at the edge or that one girl that's at the edge of the party, this party that we're making up in the park right now for our example,
Right.
it's like that. They're like 1/16 of a beat off,
Yeah.
like just a little. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at that weird guy over there.
Yeah.
No, that's just the Bluetooth delay.
I was
He's fine. He's
Actually,
in
just
his
thinking, if you don't dance very well, you can position yourself at
Be
the
like,
edge of the
oh,
group.
Stephen delay.
There you
Be
go.
like,
Millions,
yes, exactly.
Gets me every time, guys. Can't dance at all.
It's like a small scale stadium like sound delay where like the chants are
Oh,
off.
sure.
Yeah, when you go to like sports
Sure.
games or whatever.
I think this is fantastic. It sounds like there's kind of one headphone set will kind of become the master headphone set, and your phone will push. Like I am person A, and I've got my phone going to those earphones. You guys are B, C, and D. You connect, I think, to and obviously all of the earphones are talking to each other, and they're creating their own little network. But I would imagine that the one is still kind of the master, and not individually pushing out. Like mine might. Right now, as we sit here, I'm closest to V and Tony, I guess you could say, and maybe mine wouldn't be close enough to talk to yours, Krista-Lee, but obviously it'd be fine because it'd be going through Tony and V and all that kind of stuff, which is what we were just talking about. I think it's very smart. I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
I
and,
think.
sorry.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think not only for music things, but also, say, art installations, things like that. Maybe I just want to go to an area and have some sort of sonic experience. I think there are a lot of things you could do once these become sort of more widely adopted.
Like set a world record for longest warehouse art chain
There's that.
Hey,
Somebody will
may
do
happen.
it.
across the
No,
state
they
or some
will.
crazy
Yeah.
thing like that. Warehouse needs to do this. Hey, whoa, Warehouse
I know
Arc Marketing, listen up. That's what you need to do. You need to do a YouTube stunt here.
Yeah.
Stretch these things out.
And then thank Technophiles for the idea.
I gave this one to him for free.
For us,
The next one, not so much.
What were you
No,
gonna say?
what I was gonna say is actually, so despite like the joke about the price that me and V were having, I'm not a music geek, so I won't spend $200 in headphones. However, I am a social geek, you want to say, or an anthropologist geek. I would be much more willing to plop down $200 for these because of all the things beyond just listening to music that you can do.
Yeah, I see that.
So this might be a helpful factor because you're going to get people like me who are not the music geek.
Yeah.
But you're
It becomes more of like a social tool
Exactly.
than like a musical.
Exactly.
Well, okay, so how about this? Say I own the Milwaukee Public Market. And I then have sort of a recording or essentially like a guided tour that just plays and
Like a
if you
beacon
go
of
in,
sorts.
Yeah.
right, and if I go into the Milwaukee Public Market and I want to have a coffee and I have my headphones I can plug in and it'll tell me about all the history of the building or what vendors are there or like
What
there
specials
are
there are.
right there are other sort of commercial things that could be again this is I mean upon sort of wide adoption
Well, that's true.
but yeah I could see a lot of sort of marketing potential for this
Yeah,
too.
think
like
it's
there
smart-
could be multiple stations there. You've got like every vendor has like a different, maybe they have different music or.
Well, that's
Something like
possible, but
that.
now we get into, since you brought that up, you know, that might actually get complicated because where are these borders of this mesh network?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like you.
Are you,
it
are
gets
you
really-
tuning to different channels per se if once it gets into that kind of a
That's
space?
right. Like
I don't think that's going to be an issue for a while,
Yeah.
Right.
but it's something to think about.
Huh.
I think this is awesome. I don't know if I would wear these while I was biking. They're a little big. It's not. I
Well,
just have to wait for
they-
them to release the
they
earbud
look neat.
version.
Not these.
The guy said he didn't really like the LEDs and wouldn't wear them at night, but those look really cool. I think I would wear the heck out of those.
I think in the right social situations
Yeah.
they apply.
Yeah, you could get clever with them being different. You know, all of a sudden the whole group is the colors, or you know, like the
Oh,
whole
that'd
group
be
is
like an
glowing different
indicator of
colors.
like who's.
Or
listening to
perhaps
what.
you could use the colors to indicate what channel you're on, based on like what V was talking about. I don't know.
I want it to flash with the beat.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
And then if they kind of know, if they can triangulate their position, you could send ripples.
Oh my
of
god, you
beats.
could tell what channel they were on by the tempo.
It kind of would be, right?
Oh.
I mean, you know.
I mean, yeah, and these are sort of second, third, fourth steps, but not inconceivable by any stretch
Oh,
of the imagination.
absolutely.
Yes, very
Do
fantastic.
it so you can code the lights yourself. So the
Oh.
music can learn some coding.
Yeah, we're gonna
right?
combine these
Yep.
social bracelets
I
with
like
social
it.
headphones.
I like
We're gonna have a whole social outfit going on.
It's true. I kind of like it. Well, I think we talked about this for a while. Let's go to break and we'll come back. All right. Oh, actually, this is just it. We're done,
Yes.
aren't we?
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know either.
All right, guys. If people want to tweet us about social earphones or plenty of other things that have to do with social human condition and
Social
whatnot.
shoes, social socks, social glasses.
Social robots. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. V, they could tweet you at
They can tweet me at bear_Annika.
fantastic, Mr. Tony Stiglich.
I'm at Tony_Stig.
Marvelous. And Ms. Krista-Lee.
I am at Gamer Anthro.
And we love it when people tweet the show at Technophiles Pod or go to our Facebook and iTunes pages by searching Technophiles. Of course, you can go to our actual website, technophilespodcast.com, where you can check out the show notes to this episode and also look at the Technophiles newscast and our other show, Branchy Dialogue. I'm still hoarse. I'm so sorry. I had a long week at work today. A lot of dealing. I was teaching a lot of science to hundreds of children, and so my voice is almost shot. But I think that's it. Otherwise, I guess we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Until then, I'm David Geisler, and you can find me on Twitter at Raptor Paint. Have a good last couple days, guys. Oh my God! What a day! What a day! All right, have a good night, everybody.